the day, worthy listener / viewer. Welcome to the Hack the Dino gaming cast, where we're very prim and very proper. You see, I roll my R's like a real fancy person. You reckon I could do that the whole show?
Please don't.
Let's sit. No, I won't, because I want to punch myself in the face. More so than usual.
Not before me, mate.
Hack the Dino Gaming Cast, where we bring you the past, present, and future of video games, news, previews, and discussions. I am the monstrosity known as Benjamin Rosenthal. I don't know why I said Benjamin. That's my wrestling name.
Benjamin.
That's Mr. Benjamin Rosenthal. But that's not important. What is important is Floppy's back on the seat. Floppy Starrick here being enabling as he does.
It's true. I do that.
I reckon about 4 times today you tried to get me to buy something.
Yes.
That's ridiculous because you know it's my weak spot. And the only thing that stopped me is the fact we've got the Comic and Toy Fair coming up in 2 weeks.
Oh, I'll still get you.
Well, we'll see about that. Do you know what else you'll get? You'll get...
Syphilis.
And Braden Dixon. Those two aren't related.
They're very unrelated,
they are
in fact.
Mutually exclusive. That's not...
They're incredibly unrelated.
Completely.
We've seen the medical certificate. We've
That's
got
it.
proof.
But both of them, gifts that keep on giving.
Oh, Floppy. I don't know whether to be offended or...
I'd be offended.
Yeah, fair enough.
Go with a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
But
like
we
you're hiding giant balls.
have got a show for you. By the way, Floppy warned us previously that he's very tired, so expect fun. After the tornado that was Dan McGuinness last show.
Yeah, I heard that was...
That was a fucking hurricane is what it was.
That was an F5, that one.
heard that was quite the time.
But Braden, what have you been up to lately? What have you been doing?
Not too much. Just having a good time. I've actually managed to play some video games lately, which is
Get out
nice.
of town.
What?
Which I've heard is quite relevant on this show.
Not at all.
We'll see how
Watch
relevant
the show?
it is. But no, I'm actually really interested to get to the rest of this show because there is a news topic that I just completely missed these
That's
last
right.
couple of days.
They're bringing out a Pong sequel.
Whoa.
Pong 2.
Pong.
That's real.
Oh,
I'll
of
bring out
course
a
it
Pong
is,
sequel.
Jesus.
Pong.
I deleted it from the run sheet because there was more important stuff to talk about. But Pong 2,
Then
everyone.
Pong 2?
Yeah.
The sequel that we've been waiting for since 1976.
Yep, correct.
Incorrect.
Get this right. You start off playing Pong like normal,
Yeah.
but then, because you're the ball, you break through one of the paddles and you try and escape. And it's like a maze that you have to pong off all these walls and try and find your way out of a maze.
That's amazing. I'd play the shit out of that.
Yeah, well, it's coming out. You'll be able to play
Very
it.
meta.
Anyway, but this is Hack the Dino Gaming Cast. I've said that. Doesn't matter. Floppy, what's new with you? Where
You know
been?
me, mate. Just been shaking hands, kissing mums.
And shaking babies. Wait, no.
No,
Sorry.
don't shake babies.
No.
Never.
No.
It's never okay.
Correct. We at Hack the Dino do not endorse the shaking of any baby.
No. Or except for that one.
The mums, however, Floppy will shake down.
Yes, I'll rob them.
Yes, that's right. Of their virtue.
Oh! You're not wrong.
Anyway.
Now, what have I been doing? I've been playing some games. I've been incredibly busy, but I have found some time to play some games. I've been continuing to play Armored Core, which a lot of fun. It's very cool. It is quite difficult though. It's got to the point where I'm finding it hard.
Can we baby mode it?
I am baby moding it.
Oh, right.
But it's just so pretty, and I really enjoy the mission base in and out, where I can just pick it up for 15 minutes and before I go to work or something in the morning, have a crack at a mission, fail, and then come back and do it again the next day.
Sweet.
But it is really pretty, and I really like the loadouts that you can have on your mechs. And it's just the controls, though. The controls are my favorite part of this game because they just make sense more than any other game I think that I've ever played. Which is weird, and you probably have to get your hands on it to figure it out. But trust me, get your hands on it, and you'll have a great time.
How's he sliding like that? Is there no
He's got
friction?
boosters.
But there's gravity.
Hey,
and laws
shut
of
up!
physics.
It's mechs. Who
Okay,
cares?
sorry.
No, Ben, so there's boosters on his back. They're holding him slightly off the ground.
Yes.
Right.
And then he boosts off one of the side ones.
Where does the fuel stored?
Okay.
For those
you know how you
boosters
play
to be
that game with
constantly
those
going.
magical little creatures that shrink down, fit in a ball, and then fight?
Yeah, they digitize.
Don't worry about it.
They digitize.
It's called fiction.
Speaking of those little creatures, I have started playing for the first time ever Detective Pikachu.
Oh,
Because I picked it up on the 3DS and I want to play it before the second one comes out.
right.
And now that I've seen the movie, which I'm shocked to see is not a direct copy of the game, It's actually a pretty cool game.
It's a great game, great movie.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, the movie was great. I loved it.
This is what really got me. So when they announced Detective Pikachu 2 and showed the trailer,
Yeah.
people, Pokemon fans, quotation marks, were up in arms. Like, name me a fandom that isn't actually a fandom. Like, they're the biggest fans, but do nothing but complain about everything. You guys
Same
are
as everyone.
sick.
Star
fans.
Wars.
Star Wars, Doctor Who. Doctor Who's the same.
Yeah, but they're all nerds.
Yeah, unlike us cool guys. Anyway, about Detective Pikachu 2. It's they were complaining that it looks like it was on the DS, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's an
I mean, it is.
artistic choice to have it look like the 3DS because it's
They
a sequel to the game. Like, what are you not getting about this?
Yeah, that's a bit weird. But no, it was pretty cool. I'm looking forward to playing more of that. It's my lunchtime game at the moment.
Also, it's on the Switch, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but the Switch is 6 years old and wasn't up to date when it first came out. So just leave it alone. You've got a
Wow.
new Switch next year.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yes, Jeff. But the thing I've played the most lately was because I picked it up ages ago, never played it because everyone else kind of poo-pooed it a little bit. I started playing Need for Speed Unbound. This game,
Oh, is this the cel-shaded one?
this is the Need for Speed that I have wanted since 2005.
You and Brayden were going gaga over this one.
It
Yes.
looks great.
It plays great. So it plays and drives like Need for Speed Underground or Need for Speed Most Wanted. That's what it plays like. It looks like what it looks like now. The people are cel shaded and stuff like that. The cars look phenomenal. The environments are really, really cool. You have your open world. You have your mission based stuff that you can just go out and do, like Most Wanted or Underground. You have a little bit more modern stuff where you can find other little races that you can do while you're traveling around. You have, speed traps. You have drift races. The coolest thing I love about it is anytime you have drifting or, you catch some air, excuse me, you get these little animations that pop up as effects, and they're all kind of like very into the Spider-Verse-y.
Oh, that looks cool.
It's so cool, man, and it handles really well. And I'm doing the thing that I do with every Need for Speed game is I get the cars and make them look like the cars from Fast and Furious.
I was about to say, on a scale of 1 to Fast and Furious, whatever that game was called, where does this rank?
About Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Wow.
So,
I
like-
meant the game. Do you remember the game you played with the modem car that you had to chase
No,
down?
I like to think that doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. You've just wiped it from your memory.
Yeah,
Your
like
Eternal Sunshine.
yep, that is gone.
Like every character death in the franchise of Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but nah, it's really cool.
Except for Paul Walker.
It is legit. No, he's back in the next film.
Oh, what?
It is legit the Need for Speed game I've wanted since 2005.
So how's he back in the next film?
I don't know. He never died in the movies.
No, he rode off into the sunset.
He rode off and was a shit dad for the rest of the films. He was just absent father.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't kill the character.
No, he's been an absent father.
They didn't kill the character.
No. No, in fact, actively, they reference the character.
all the time. And his children, like babies, and his wife are there, in danger, never there.
Wow, that is awful.
They've turned their main hero into absentee shit dad.
What, is he just in Mexico?
I don't know. He went down.
Went out for some cigarettes?
Went down to the store for some cigarettes.
That's where he was driving to when Vin Diesel saw him.
Yeah.
Get you anything?
Yeah. No. So yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, Need for Speed Unbound. If you like Need for Speeds, give it a crack. I didn't for the longest time because all I heard was bad things, and then I played it and I was like, crazy talk. It's fucking awesome.
Same. Like hearing your review where it sounds exactly like it plays like the Need for Speeds that I grew up on with like Underground and Most Wanted.
Yeah.
And then like the visual style. I think everything has gotten better since Into the Spider-Verse released.
Can I
And
ask a
people were
question?
allowed to be creative again.
Exactly.
In regards to the racing style, like there's different styles of racing games.
Correct.
The racing games, because I don't play very many, but the ones that I do like when I do play is legitimately press this button to accelerate.
Yep.
And steer.
Yes.
Is that this game?
Yes.
Which is why people
But
don't like it.
you also have handbrake
Yeah, cool.
and boost.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Make it simple. I
definitely
hate these.
it's not a simulation game.
Yeah, no, screw that.
But they're never meant to be. Need for Speeds were
you
never
want a nice, fun arcade game.
Yeah. And it is that. Like they have like a little bit of the Burnout thing because it is from Criterion. So you have things like smashing the billboards that you're jumping through and that sort of stuff, which are just cool. But everything pops up on your map and is easy to see Like it's just it's fun. You collect graffiti art. So you drive up to it, and it will have there's a ladder with some spray cans, and then there's a big graffiti mural. You drive up to it, hit a button to collect that, and you can use it as graphics on your car.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm keen as.
Yeah, that looks cool. I might actually try this. How much is it? Is it
It's like 20-something bucks at the moment. You can buy it,
still too pricey?
and that's on the PS5.
Yeah, it needs to come down a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Brayden,
Hi.
what have you been using to stimulate your retinas?
Yep.
Purple cup.
Well, no. Firstly, I finally got around to finishing Horizon Zero Dawn plus its DLC.
Oh,
I never played
the
DLC.
Frozen Wilds?
Frozen Wilds, yeah. I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
I never went back into the Frozen Wilds. I really should.
Yeah. Well, I never did either. And then I was like, oh, okay. I haven't played the sequel yet, so I was like, I'm just gonna blast through the story of the original, and then do the DLC.
Are you worried that, like, when you get to the sequel, that it's going to be a bit of a letdown?
No, because
It's not.
I don't think so, because one of the thoughts that I had while I was playing it was, man, wish I had a glider right now. And they fixed that.
They did.
So
the only reason I asked is because I watched the latest episode of Ahsoka last night.
I haven't watched that yet.
I also haven't
Well,
watched any of it.
the big blue man's coming back, right?
Yes, I do.
All I'll say is big blue man came back, and he wasn't the big blue man who's been living in my head for the past 15,
Wow,
20
that's
years.
different to what I've been hearing from everyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I...
What you say is you got it wrong.
Probably. yeah, that's fine.
Ben, your childhood was wrong. How does that feel?
Well, he's used to it.
Dad?
But no, so I finished that.
Go to your room.
And my plan was to finish that and go straight into the sequel. However, we're like less than a month away from Spider-Man 2.
I know.
So I am instead now going to replay Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales so that I'm ready for Spider-Man 2.
Are you going to do all the...
So excited.
The DLC for Spider-Man as well?
Oh, yeah, that 3-chapter little thing.
And are you playing the Yuri version or the new version? The special edition?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, so I played it through originally on the PS4 with the Yuri version. And my youngest son, Thomas...
My favorite thing about this is that Yuri is Japanese for, girl love manga.
Cool.
Mm.
Lesbian stories. The Yuri version.
Do you know what game Yuri's in recently?
No, what?
He is Smoke in Mortal Kombat 1.
Huh, there you go.
Cool.
Yeah, I played it on the PS4 with the original sort of look and everything like that.
Same.
And then, so my youngest son, Thomas, who's 6, just finished Spider-Man. I've helped him out with a few of the boss fights and stuff, but he's crashed through it. He's awesome. He's playing Miles now. But he did it with the updated one on the PS5, and so I got to see both. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it looks kind of cool.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. I still have to play the stealth missions. So
I have.
It's true, you do still have to play the stealth missions.
You have to be MJ.
I love Laura Bailey, but yeah, you do still have to play the stealth missions. But no, so I finished that, and I'm now gonna get headfirst into Spider-Man. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But on my ROG Ally, I have been playing through something that I've always heard was amazing, but I never actually really knew much about. And I picked it up. It was on sale on Steam, and I was like, "Yep, cool. It's on my wish list. I'm gonna grab it, check it out."
Lollipop chainsaw.
That would be very funny to bring that reveal. No, I've been playing Disco Elysium,
Nice.
which is
nice.
I can only describe as a mystery thriller novel, but is also a video game.
Yep.
It is fascinating.
Yeah.
And so creative. So you play a detective, you think, I really
spoiler.
don't know where this story is going. You wake up, basically you were drunk and drugged out in a hotel room. And you wake up and then people are like, hey, you gotta solve this crime. And you're like, what? Am I a cop? And you don't remember anything. So they released the final cut, which includes all these little updates that they added to it and stuff. You talk to yourself a lot and all the different parts of your brain and your body a lot.
Wow.
And you have a conversation with your crazed necktie.
Oh, I've been there.
It is really compelling.
does-
I cannot recommend it enough.
Is it all novel? Like, is it all written, or is it got a voiceover?
So there is voiceover. I think that might even be like they might have added more in the Final Cut edition. I'm getting spoilers because I haven't unlocked that door
Stop
yet.
watching.
I'm just gonna look at you guys instead.
I would.
But yeah, I am loving the visuals of it. I'm loving the style of it. It's very like I would call it like a European comic kind of feel. It feels like a graphic novel almost. It is kind of scary at times. Like searching through this area is like any of the dark areas. You're like, I honestly feel like anything could happen right now, and it would fit. And it's weirdly political and in like a really interesting way. It's a completely fictional world with its own really in-depth history and backstory for everything. Yeah, I've just found it really compelling.
Cool, man.
It's one of the few games that's made me like, oh shit, it's 2 a.m. I haven't done that in ages.
I haven't seen 2 a.m. in ages either.
Yeah, exactly.
42-year-old man.
But yeah, I found it really, really good. I am going to continue playing it. And I've already, because at the start you choose like what kind of build you want, where you have like basically like intellect and then like emotions and then like physical stuff.
What happened then?
I have no idea.
He matrixed.
It gets real weird, but I'm super excited to get further into it. I've already thought about the build that I want to go with for doing a second playthrough to do things differently and see what happens. Yeah. And I feel like it's all just culminating from all this talk recently of like Baldur's Gate and stuff. Because that's really what I want to be playing. But I'll get there.
One day.
One day.
Well, speaking of Baldur's Gate, I've been playing a game that is on par with that Game of the Year sought after game. I'm, of course, talking about the Pokemon DLC. Yeah, bloody hell.
Look at those graphics.
So, you know how...
Why is it like a 3DS game?
You know how it's a stylistic choice, all right? Running at 3 frames a second is a style choice. That's what they were after.
No, it's not. It's called shit.
So yeah, it was hoped that this DLC would fix a lot of the problems of Scarlet and Violet. Spoiler, they don't. The frame rate is still horrendous. The storyline of this DLC only goes for about 3 to 5 hours, depending on how into it you get and whether you want to collect all the new Pokemon. The new area of the DLC is probably a quarter of the size of Paldea, which is of the main map. Yeah, so the storyline...
Pop in.
Oh, it's awful. It's absolutely horrendous. The storyline is not only incredibly generic and somewhat problematic.
Ooh.
Yeah, so spoiler alert for Scarlet and Violet, right? The whole thing there was that the bosses that you battled, the students who were running away from the school and hated the school, was because they were getting bullied by someone. And then the person who was being bullied the most pulled them all together and they formed a team because they were stronger together and they weren't going to get bullied again. Yes?
Is it? Are they
Is
getting
that the
bullied
bully?
because of their haircuts?
Oh,
or-
I'm getting to that.
Because I don't like bullying, but I'll bully that. What the fuck is that?
So, yeah. So at the end of the storyline, again, spoiler alert, but who cares? Typical Pokemon, through the power of friendship and making their small animals fight each other, everyone becomes friends again, and they realize that they can be friends with everyone, and the real bully is life. Sure. This game, the 2 characters who we just saw with the weird hair,
You mean the flock of seagulls wannabes?
yes, the big sister bullies her brother to the point where she makes remarks like... the grandfather says, be nicer to your brother. And she goes, I am being nice. They didn't hit him.
Wow.
And it's like, so
Wow.
you just had a game about how bad bullying is to kids. And then you're going over to this storyline where the big sister's a bully. And not to spoil too much, but you end up empathizing with that sister.
Do you really, though?
Yeah. So it's just,
Maybe you haven't finished, then she actually dies horribly.
no, I've finished. I've rolled credits on that. Part 1 of that DLC. But the positives, besides the fact that...
It finishes?
yeah, that is a positive. It does have cool side missions. It's not overly big, but we do have a secondary DLC coming later in the year, which is confirmed to be in Unova, so people will be really, really happy about that for some reason. It's not huge. It's really easy to shiny hunt. This is more of a collecting
What did
side
you
of
say?
Pokemon.
Shiny what?
Shiny hunt.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But yeah, the frame rates, my God. Like, really, this is almost inexcusable.
That pop-in is painful.
I really thought I was watching something there from like the late 90s.
Yeah, it's not...
Which
it's not fun.
I'm cool with, but not when it's not meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah,
What is that person doing?
it's like $50 as well, this DLC. So
Pardon?
That's a lot.
you get the 2 parts, so it won't...
Okay.
You know, it's fine.
Part 2 must be really fucking good.
It's okay. The new Pokemon's pretty cool. Ogerpon. She's pretty cute.
Sorry, I
Ogerpon.
just saw the name of one of the Pokemon this video has,
Yep.
and it's Frame Drops.
Oh,
Shout out to Nintendo Life. Good shit.
anyway, if you like Pokemon, you should probably get that. But...
You know what? If you're going to pay $50 for that, pay $25 for Need for Speed and have some actual fun.
Yeah, it's true.
That looks good.
If you like things that look good, well, you'll be able to see 4 good-looking people, because Anta will be back by then, on November 17 at the Flipside Barcade, because we're having a live show.
I was wondering
I
what
almost
you
said
were
we're having a
going to say.
podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder what you were going to say.
We're having a podcast. No, we're having a live show at the Flipside Barcade in Adelaide, South Australia, over on one of the Goodwood Road.
Yep.
It is a pinball and video game arcade where they also serve alcoholic beverages and food.
Say, we'll be pissed.
You can, well, I won't be. You can join us there from 8 p.m. on November 17th. If you want to come and see us, if you're in Adelaide or you're going to be in Adelaide, be sure to head on over to hackthedino.com, click on the Get Tickets link, and you can get tickets for free. They're free. They are limited to 60 though.
Yes. All of our overseas friends, it is free, so you just buy flights
Yep.
and we got you covered.
And the beer and the food isn't free either.
And Ben will put you up at his house.
No, not happening.
He comes stay at my place. I got a fold-out couch.
Good. But yeah, we will also be there with the Toy Power podcast. So the first half of the live show will be a show as of normal, where we will be unveiling our hopeful award-winning contributions to the Retro Hunt Challenge. And then the second half of the show, we will be partaking in a game show against the Toy Power podcast.
To the death!
And also to see what is better, video games or toys.
Oh.
We'll decide once and for all.
Shit, we like both of them things.
I know, but Trent was here, bless him, last show when we announced it. And I said, we'll finally decide whether video games or toys are better. And Trent said, I think we can all just get along. And I said, no, we
I
can't.
love that, man.
No, we can't.
No, we're going to sing Kumbaya and shit.
Anyway, hackthedino.com, click on the free ticket link. We will see you there, please. Because
Please.
we promised we'd bring a crowd. So please, come.
Don't make us liars, otherwise you're the bad people, really.
That's right. You'll make baby Jesus cry. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
No,
What?
baby Zeus. Hey, Zeus!
I meant Jeebus.
Oh God, this died.
bit.
Let's talk about some news that you two aren't aware of for some reason.
Yeah,
because it was the
I have
biggest
no
news on the
idea.
planet.
Completely
saw-
missed this.
I saw you heard about it. I've not read this on purpose because
Alright.
you said there was a leak. I was like, what leak? So was Braden.
Okay, so you might remember a little court case between the FTC and Microsoft
Yes.
to see if Microsoft purchasing Blizzard Activision was indeed designated as a monopoly if they were to do so, and therefore be unfair to the competition. So in order to prove that Microsoft was doing awfully and in third place and they needed this to basically survive, they provided the court with a whole bunch of files basically showing where they are, where they're going, what plans they have, just laid it all out on the table. Now, usually when these things are presented, because they have to be available to the judge, and I'll get into why that's important later,
Of course.
usually they're redacted. So we've all seen these files, these documents, they got big black text mark through it, so you don't get anything spoiled or leaked. Someone at Microsoft didn't redact the documents.
Idiots. Someone's not gone along, got a job.
So these documents, or this link to these documents were given to the judge. That link got out
Of course it did.
this week. And Brayden, if you'd like to bring up the actual documents.
This feels illegal, Ben.
It's
Can
right
we
there.
get in trouble for this?
No, because The Verge published this. TheVerge.com. They published this entire thing.
Okay.
This is fascinating.
Why does that look like a number plate?
Because that's the filing paper. So that's the start. You can see down the left-hand
Alright.
side there.
Roadmap to 2030.
So this is their entire... Now, to be fair, this was done in 2020.
Ah,
So
so it's all
things may
completely
have
null and
changed.
void and
But
redundant.
there is some huge news in this. I'm going to go through some of these things.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a lollipop.
So first thing that people have been speaking about a lot has been the emails in which Phil Spencer wanted to purchase Nintendo, calling it the prime asset for us in gaming.
We knew about that, though, didn't
Noting that a purchase of the company would be a career moment. No, well, that was before Phil Spencer was even on board, and he was still going after it. Now, people are going, oh, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, Phil Spencer's blah, blah. You're taking the wrong cliff notes there. Like, even if I didn't own or part of a company, I'd want to own Nintendo. Who wouldn't want to own Nintendo?
we? I would.
You wouldn't want to own Nintendo?
No, I would love to
Yeah,
own
Brett,
Nintendo.
would you like to own Nintendo?
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
if you had to.
if you know.
Yeah, I might give it a crack as well. So you're taking the wrong things from that internet. Who would have thought? They were also and had serious discussions with WB Games and were also tossing around trying to buy Valve as well, which I think we already knew about.
I feel like we knew that one.
Next up, it's been, according to these documents as well, remasters of games like Fallout 3, The Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, and Dishonored. Dishonored 3, I should say.
Yeah, no one cares about Dishonored.
And that'll be coming
Well,
out in the 2024
People
fiscal
care
year.
about the first Dishonored.
We had it confirmed via these documents that Elder Scrolls 6 is indeed going to be a Microsoft exclusive.
I think we knew that, though, didn't we?
Nothing was confirmed.
But we kind of all knew.
But we sort of knew. And then
When
perhaps
Starfield was exclusive, they changed their minds on it. It was like, yeah, this is going to be exclusive.
Perhaps the biggest news is that not only was there details, but pictures of a mid-gen console release for October 2024.
So I'm assuming this is a concept that they come up with in 2020.
No, it's part of their plan. So it's going to be an all-digital system. The new model will apparently launch alongside a new controller with several improvements. These will include things like haptic feedback, an accelerometer, and thumbsticks that are a bit quieter.
But will there be a rechargeable battery, or are you still using AA's?
No, they're going to implement a recharge.
Oh my God, it's
battery into
taken
it as
them
well.
10 years.
It will feature the Xbox S or digital will feature 2 terabyte storage, 16 gig of RAM, and will come in 100% recycled packaging. The updated Series S, codenamed Elwood, will include
Elwood?
Elwood
That's a fucking Blues Brother.
will include 10 gig of RAM. Pricing will remain the same as its predecessors, according to Xbox.
Is it
usually,
round?
Yeah, it's a cylinder.
It's the Apple Mac trash can.
It's no longer a box.
Oh my God, it looks like a Swiss roll.
Have you guys seen? You guys know the Apple trash can?
No, see, I personally thought it looked like a speaker.
It looks like a portable speaker, or like it just needs a little foot pedal on it to open the top so you can put your rubbish in.
No, so
Well,
this was an
checks
actual
out.
computer that Mac put out at one point. Or Mac, that Apple put out at one point. Look at this bad boy.
Oh,
That's an actual computer that they did. It's
I'm
bad.
sorry. Nothing round is good to go on a desk, especially when it has cables coming out of
Look
it.
at that.
Yeah.
Nah,
Weird.
hate it.
There was also leaks in there suggesting that as part of the Xbox Design Lab, you will be able to tweak your own X and S consoles.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Now, it was unclear whether it was actually the consoles or whether it was going to be a wrap. Like, you know how they brought out that Skyrim wrap, which was a velvet...
Velvet.
Velcro wraparound?
Velvet.
They did a Starfield one.
Saucy.
A Starfield one, sorry. What did
Yeah,
I
yeah.
say?
You said Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Oh, sorry.
Having said that, probably happened.
Same game.
2 terabyte air fryer.
Where am I? So the next gen system after these, they're currently planning for 2028. So Gen 10 is what they're calling it. 2028. And they're saying it's going to be a cloud hybrid. So this very well may be the last Xbox system that we currently have at the moment with an optical disk drive.
I don't think they're that stupid.
Really?
Well, they've already got digital ones, and how much they sell?
I have no idea.
Fucking next to none of them.
Well, what if like they didn't have?
Well,
what
that's not true. They sell a lot, but in comparison to like the disc-based version,
What if they went to? We're going to talk about this later. But what if they went the Sony track and sold an all-digital console, and then if you want your physical, you had to buy a separate CD drive or data drive?
then again, you're still selling physical media, aren't you?
True.
It's actually no different.
But my point is, like, this could be the last Xbox that has one inbuilt that comes with it.
Maybe.
Maybe doesn't bother you.
Nah, because it's not. They're not going to get rid of the option, are they?
One final piece that came from this document that I also found fascinating, but there's a caveat to it. Microsoft said that they may exit the gaming market if the Blizzard deal didn't go through.
Bullshit.
I did want to caveat this. This was the 2020 document, and the whole idea of this document was to prove to the judge that if they were so desperate to try and get ahead of the other two.
If we can't have this, if it doesn't happen, it'll finish us.
It'll finish us. We'll be gone forever. That's it. We're Microsoft. We only have billions.
Have a fucking cry, mate.
So it was done to,
My God.
try and pull one over the judge, and I'm sure the judge saw that.
I would almost put money on the fact that this was not redacted and leaked on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Phil Spencer came out and addressed it.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, it's not the way we'd like to have these things.
I'm sure it's not. Bullshit.
There are plans that have changed, but we'll let you know more when the time comes.
Why is there parsley growing out of his Xbox?
Because it's environmentally recycled.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that is bad. That is not good. That thing's not going to run.
So what do we think about all this? What do we think about the possibility of just Nintendo and Sony and an all-digital future and
I think we're ages away.
leaking consoles and...
leaking consoles.
Like, it's insane. We are looking at the actual documents they supplied.
Remember when we saw the actual document of the mini Nintendo 64? That's never happened.
No, that wasn't official. That was a
patent.
They take patents out for everything.
I know.
This is official court documentation.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to get this kind of insight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of cool, but I would 100% believe that this is amped up to, like you said, make them look a little more desperate than they need to be.
But I understand that, yes, that's 100% where they would be going for it. But they also have to supply actual information.
They do.
Like, they have to show... Like, this is...
Yeah, you can't just lie everything.
Till 2030. That's like 6.5 years. And we've got their groundwork. We've got their road to what they want to do, to Generation 10.
So what you've got ideas that they put down 10 years in advance.
Well, their roadmap, where they're aiming.
Yes.
You're not impressed by that?
Not
You don't
really.
think much of it?
Nah.
Really?
This page is quite fascinating.
What's that one there?
I can't read that, but...
So I'll zoom in a little bit more. This one is about their goals and what's in scope and what's funded, and what they're putting their resources towards. So, not in scope for first party, they'll never do earbuds or a media remote or a mobile controller or a handheld.
I'm sorry, they've already done a media remote.
And there was talk of a handheld anyway.
Yep.
They wanted to bring out their own backbone. I think that was in there as well.
Yep, probably. But yeah, I just find that interesting. It's a cool little insight. I find this sort of stuff very interesting. It gets a lot of people looking into the businesses behind the games they play. I feel like is always a good thing because
transparency is always good.
All of a sudden, you're elevating someone from going, "Oh, I like Master Chief," or "I like, I don't know, someone from Sony."
Other property.
I like PlayStation. And you're making them go, oh, hang on a second. Yeah, these aren't just pieces of art. There's the giant businesses that fund this stuff.
I guess I work for a giant business and I see a lot of this sort of stuff and I know how much it changes and how much of it is really redundant.
And it is
2 months,
years old.
3 months, 6 years later.
Yeah.
It's see that shit all the time.
Me personally, I love it because it's an inside look at what these companies... it's clear that these companies make all their stuff on clip art.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is embarrassing. They should be embarrassed of using this generic
there's much
image.
more embarrassing stuff to come.
I don't think this was leaked. I reckon it was probably done on purpose.
You reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
They purposely let
How
this
many
come
times have we talked about people leaking stuff on purpose in the last 2 years?
Yeah, well, it is a tactic
God, that's
now.
ugly as sin.
But I mean, why would you let, say,
why'd you make it round?
why would you let your enemies? Not enemies. They're not enemies. What are they?
Competition?
Competitors.
Yeah, thank you. Why would you see? I just hate everyone. Why would you let your competitors see your hand? Like if you're playing poker, you want to keep that close to your chest. I know an original analogy I've made there.
Unless you don't. Unless there is shit in there, you would just want them to see. Or let's look at it simpler. Who actually believes that Phil Spencer or Xbox, that huge mother of a company, would accidentally let this go not redacted?
Me.
That's a massive mistake.
I'm super gullible though. Like I'm ridiculously.
I don't
gullible.
think anyone would. Oh, whoops! Like, nah. There's no way that wouldn't have gone to
But I
the
mean-
judge without going through several people.
Well, all they had to do was provide a link to the document
Exactly.
because it was in the middle of COVID that all these things happened.
Yeah.
So it was just a link to the document. So all it takes is copying down the wrong link, I assume.
And I'm just like, as if it didn't get checked a billion times before it got sent.
Well, I don't know.
I just find it hard to believe. Like, it's kind of cool. I like it. Like, it looks official, and I'm sure it is to a certain point. How much of it is relevant still 3 years later? I don't know.
I was gonna say my immediate thing here now, just looking at this slide, is me going, we really thinking Xbox are going to announce any kind of hardware late next year?
No.
Well, Nintendo is.
Well, yeah, but
Are they, though?
Yes, of course they are.
they better.
You saw that Nintendo Direct. That
I haven't
was
actually watched that yet.
the Nintendo.
Oh, no, I've seen bits of it.
The Nintendo Direct for me was a swan song. It's like this is it.
See, I thought it was cool. I didn't see the very, very end of it.
Right.
You missed nothing.
Yeah, I figured as much.
It was
but I thought
very
it was
much
cool.
a swan. It was a swan song Direct. It was.
I think it was one of the best directs they've done in a while.
Thanks for having it. Because there was no pressure on. Like they've got their games coming out, and that's it. It'll be thank you everyone. I still say we're going to get an announcement early next year, and probably Q3 we'll have a new Switch 2 or the Super Switch. I really hope they go with Super Switch.
No, sounds shit.
No, you had the Nintendo Entertainment System, then you had the Super Nintendo Entertainment. Have a Super Switch. That way you're keeping the branding, you're keeping the synergy. It worked really well for the Wii and Wii U.
What if they call it the Switch Elite?
Elite's trademarked. You can't use the same words as other game companies.
Surely it's not.
Yeah, it is. That's the truth. It's 100% the truth.
Oh, you go like that. You're dribbling shit.
No, that's my beard. I'm a redhead. Anyway, Xbox. Yay! I'm actually excited because it gives a little bit of spice to these news weeks where you're struggling to find news and talk about Pong 2 for some reason.
Dude, I'd totally talk about Pong 2. That sounds amazing.
We're going to talk a little bit now about the Tokyo Game Show. Started yesterday. I ended up watching a couple of the live streams.
I've seen none.
You didn't miss out on much.
Oh, look, it's Phil Spencer. Oh, what's that bit of paper that just fell out of his pocket? Non-redacted. He's just like, whoops. Sorry, can you please hold on to this flash drive for me? Sorry, Phil.
Whoops, I did it again.
I fell over. I fell over again.
So my one takeaway from this was, and there's no audio, so you can't hear it because it's in Tokyo, it's in Japan. They decided to start the stream with some Japanese language.
All right,
And
how'd that go down?
something like this. Hello, konnichiwa.
No, stop.
The best part was when Sarah Bond said,
Was it Phil Spencer doing that?
Phil Spencer did it. Domo arigato.
Oh, dude, I'd just punch him in the dick.
And the worst one for me was Sarah Bond. When a lot of the Japanese phrases, when you speak Japanese, you end it with des, but it's spelled D-E-S-U.
Desu?
The U is silent.
Oh, so des.
Yeah, hito des. But she was reading it and said, hito des. Ooh.
Oh!
I was like, oh, wow.
What are you practicing?
No.
Do you not practice these things?
Like, that's what...
Hey, that looks pretty.
Get someone who... Oh, that was the Flight Simulator update. Just get someone to go, can you just read this line to me? And then just mimic it. Because it was really cringe, guys. And you're trying to break into this market. You have been for years. And yes, people appreciate that you give the language a go because it's a very hard language. But wow, just get someone to read the line before you do. It's one line each.
Parlez-vous français?
Like that.
Si vous play, mate.
Like that. There were a couple of announcements. The most notable ones were Fallout 76 Atlantic City expansion is coming December 5th.
No, Ben, we're looking for notable announcements.
Yeah, notable.
Well, they announced that expansion without a date, so you got a date here. Like Tokyo Game Show never makes any real big announcements. They focus purely on RPGs mainly. I just want to say Sarah Bond, though, she's amazing. Anyway, October 18th, Exoprimal Chun-Li joins Ryu and Guile. You know Exoprimal, that game with dinosaurs?
Oh, I forgot about that. I kind of wanted to play that, and then I found out it was all multiplayer online and went...
Oh, is it all online?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right. But yeah,
Correct me
Chun-Li's
if I'm
going to be in
wrong.
it. The Robot Chun-Li. You get to play Robot Chun-Li.
Robot?
Robot Chun-Li.
Does she do it like a 1,000-thing kick?
I assume that would be in her repertoire.
Is that her
So,
there?
If you go towards the end of this, Braden, you'll be able to see Robot Chun-Li. She pops up, does her kick.
So Townsy says he thinks it's like a Need for People kind of game.
Really?
Oh, I've actually been playing a couple of them.
There you go. There's Robot Ryu, Robot Guile,
That's
and
weird.
here's Robot Chunners.
Chun-Li. Chunners? Oh, that's so Elizabethan, mate.
Chunners.
Yeah, bloody Chunners.
No,
Oh, that is weird. That is kind of creepy. Their eyes freak me out.
it's because they're soulless.
Mm.
And the game that really caught my attention was one called Hotel Barcelona. It's a 2.5D. Looks really cool. This is the game devs here.
Yep.
And if we jump forward a little bit, we'll be able to see some footage of this game that looks really, really cool. It's a side scroller. But yeah, 2.5D. And I like the health bars above the guys as you slash through them. You basically play it, and then when you die, your past dead self comes back and helps you in some of the levels or something.
Oh, that's kind of creepy. Oh, that actually looks really cool.
Yeah. I thought it looks rad. Brayden, what do you think of Hotel Barcelona?
That's cool. I like the idea of...
You like the idea of a fried chicken firing fire at you?
Whoa, that's almost Little Nightmaresy with some weird shit going on.
I like the idea of you doing a run knowing that you're not going to pass that run, but then it helping you on your next in the future. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That baby's
that robot
creepy.
baby puppet thing that we're looking at the screen now, that's creepy as hell. I just like it's very atmospheric. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this. I think it's a Game Pass exclusive as well, so will be a good time.
That looks cool.
That was all
can
from majorly from Xbox. They had a whole bunch of Game Pass announcements. You know, you'll see a lot of Like a Dragon coming to Xbox Game Pass. Then I watched a little bit of Sega Atlas, which was up sort of half an hour after that. I got through the first part and tapped out because it was too freaking weird.
Too weird.
So Japanese TV, they have a different way of showing sort of like streams and talk shows. So they have hosts, which you're introduced to. Mm-hmm. And then when it cuts away to something else, like to another host or another area, the original hosts go up in a box in the corner, and they stay on the whole time, and they react to what the other person's saying.
Oh, that's creepy.
That is something that Japanese shows do. Now, what we see on the screen here is they've got a lady going to play Sonic.
Okay.
They're going to play Sonic Superstars for the first time. And their partner with playing Sonic Superstars for the first time is a plush doll with a controller on them with ears. They were talking to this plush doll, and the plush doll was talking back.
What?
The plush doll was talking back to them.
Like Chucky?
No, just like we're seeing now. Its lips weren't moving. It was just a plush doll sitting in the seat. Then they went to the gameplay, which is what we're watching now.
So are they insinuating that plush is playing the game?
Correct. Playing it with them. And they're like asking questions and going, oh, did I get it? Oh, I didn't. Oh, you're so funny.
Oh, man, these people are fucking cooked.
The views of Floppy Starrick are not that of Hack the Dino, Ben Rosenthal, Braden Dixon.
No, they're talking to a plush doll, pretending it's playing. They're fucking cooked.
This is like the epitome of like handing an unplugged controller to your sibling.
Basically.
I did that all the time with my kids.
But that aside, this Sonic game looked pretty cool. Actually, looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, is this the Sonic...
Superstars.
Superstars that's coming out, yeah.
Yeah. But after that, I had to... Because they also had a live translation. And I don't know if you've seen many live translation videos at all or segments. If the translator's not 100% in on what the stuff is, they have no idea what they're talking about. And there's a lot of ums, ahs,
Ben, you tapped out before they talked about Football Manager.
Yeah, I made the right choice.
Yeah. Boring.
Oh my God, she's turned into an actual human being.
That's their second guest.
Oh.
Oh. Kind of missed the doll.
There have been some more announcements on Tokyo Game Show. We will continue to bring you updates over on our Discord, which you can join over at hackthedino.com. Click on the Discord button. While you're there, click on the button to follow us on youtube.com/hackthedino.
You should do that.
Twitch.tv/hackthedino. Or on podcast if you don't like looking at our faces. I get that. Totally cool.
I don't.
Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon. We're on all of them. Leave us a review as well. We've got a couple more reviews on Spotify, which is very nice.
Were
We're
they
still
good
on
ones?
4.7.
Were they good reviews?
Well, we're not on 5 stars. We need more people to give us 5 stars. And remember, if you give us a 5-star review on Spotify,
You get a date with me.
okay, there you go. All right, 5-star. There you go. Anyone wants to date with the old flopster, Mr. Charisma himself, Captain Charisma? He's there to take you on an all expenses paid date. That's right. Anywhere you want to go,
Ben will
money
pay for us
bags.
everywhere.
No, I won't. Hackthedino.com to date Floppy and give us reviews and follow us on all the things. I want to have a quick little talk.
Dylan the villain's like tempting. Tempting. I'd go on a date with you, Dill.
Dylan the villain in the live chat there. Talking about Xbox previously. Talking about their all digital edition.
Yes.
Had me give the realization that consoles, as we know them, are dying. Physical media might be on the way out in the next 10 to 15 years.
Disney's no longer releasing movies here.
Yep, they're no longer releasing physical Disney movies in Australia. We're not going to get them anymore. So that's all your Marvels, your Star Wars, everything like that. It's digital only.
Which is hilarious because they just released just announced a 100 DVD box set.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
There was another set
I'll find
that
it and
I
show you.
wanted to order for one of those TV shows. I can't remember what it was now, and I was like, "Oh, man, again, I'm God."
Cheers.
What?
Cheers.
It was
that
for a
wasn't
TV
it.
show that you wanted.
Where everyone knows your name.
So, a couple of reasons why I say this. The console market is about to change forever. The first one being I don't know if you've heard of this, but there's a company called Apple, and they
Heard of
just
them.
released an iPhone, the 15th iPhone. The big thing here is that the iPhone 15 can play Resident Evil Remake and Death Stranding Director's Cut on your phone.
Yeah.
Because it now has a USB-C, you can now hook your phone up to your TV, get a Bluetooth-enabled controller, and play games from your mobile phone directly on your TV, put it in your pocket, and take it away. That's insane. These are PlayStation 5 games that they're playing.
I mean, can't you do that now with phones?
PlayStation 5 games?
No, so you can stream.
This
We're
is
talking about
local
playing
play.
it on your phone.
Do you
game is
installing
on-
the game onto your phone?
Yes.
It's a bit weird.
It's insane.
Is it? Why is it insane?
I'm blown away by
That
that.
seems like a natural progression.
Look, yeah, I know, but look at that box down there. That's needed to play Death Stranding Director's Cut. And now it's going to be just on your phone. Like Jewel Crush Frenzy.
What is that going to do to your battery of your phone playing a fucking 4K game like that? It's going to die
Well,
in
I
like
know.
an hour and a half. Not
But-
even that.
What I mean is, within the next 10 to 15 years, this may be the primary way that Nintendo, Sony, Xbox bring out their games.
You reckon?
It's a definite possibility.
I mean, it is, I guess.
Like, you would be mad not to go into the mobile gaming market now. It's one of the
Oh,
reasons
absolutely.
why
Yeah.
Nintendo got rid of the Game Boy line. Because they're just not... People are on their phones now. The casual gamers are on your phones. That's where the market is.
I don't
And-
reckon people will play games on their phones like that because so many people are on their phones as well.
I mean, in Japan, and I'm only speaking from experience here, they very much do.
I like that I'm only speaking from experience.
Well, I have no data to back it up.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's purely me just being, waxing lyrical.
I thought you were going to be saying like, I only say it because I fucking know.
So in Japan, obviously, public transport's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their phone
Yeah.
because you don't talk on the trains over there.
Really?
It's dead silent.
Oh, I'm going to struggle.
People sleep.
I talk to people that I don't know though.
No, they
You psychopath.
don't even like you talking to them because it
How
means they
else
have
do
to
you make
practice.
friends?
No, they don't want friends. You don't get friends in Japan if you're
What
a
about
foreigner.
what I want?
I don't care. You're a foreigner. You follow the rules, otherwise you get one of these.
Shit.
That's the worst
that
thing you
just
can get
make
in
me
Japan.
laugh.
That means you're not a good person.
Oh, I can handle that. It's nowhere near as bad as what I get here.
Anyway, so I don't have any sales to back this up. Floppy might have a better idea than I, but I did hear that digital sales are now outselling physical of games.
Don't know.
Don't know?
No.
Well, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It makes sense to me. Like just for ease and comfort.
I wouldn't be surprised with things like Game Pass and stuff like that. But.
So, like, I mean, does this spell the end for the first time? Like the first time that we're not going to have physical discs or physical cartridges?
Look, I don't think they're going to be going away this generation.
No, I'm talking
or
about,
even the next generation. I think
No?
what you're saying is, we'll see them. We'll see the ratio flip
You think it'll be primarily digital moving forward?
for some people, and then for others it will never be, and then until they're forced to.
So hypothetically asking,
Yeah.
then, where does that leave game stores?
I don't know if you've seen the local ones, but they've branched out about 10 years ago to sell other stuff as well.
So you think they saw this coming and
100%.
went, we'll go
100%.
right. Okay. So
Local game stores in Australia there's only one left, apart from as a big chain.
there's still a couple of game traders.
Have you been into one lately?
Yeah, they sell some secondhand stuff at ridiculous prices.
They sell like a cupboard of secondhand stuff, and then they sell pops and
yeah, true.
other stuff.
Yep.
Whereas the other local retailers branched out years and years ago, and seem to have done it quite well.
Right. So you think that was basically them ensuring themselves longevity?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right. My last point about consoles dying out. Consoles are expensive. And companies, apart from Nintendo, don't make money off consoles.
True.
So if you can release a game on someone else's item, like an iPhone, and still make the same money without having the initial outsource, outhouse, there somewhere beneath the pale
Cost?
moonlight. Cost. Without that sort of stuff, you think they'll happily move away from the console market and not release any more home consoles?
Look, they might. I don't know. I don't know what they've got, what they're planning.
Why don't you know, Floppy?
Because
God damn it, man. That's why you're here.
look, man, I'm just here to look pretty.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you very much.
Brayden,
Hi.
what do you think?
Well, I'm certainly not here to look pretty, so...
Me either.
I'm here for opinions and facts and incorrect...
I'm here to
correct-
yell loudly and pretend to know what I'm talking about. When it's all bollocks, I just copy it off the internet and
But,
anyone can read this crap.
I think this is a very, very interesting time. I think if we were to... I feel like people were having this discussion around 5 years ago when everything is sort of slowly getting better. I feel like obviously we had a big hurdle in that.
That hurdle was Australian internet.
Well, that's a
not
that's
a
a
hurdle.
hurdle that we're going to be dealing with for a lot longer still.
That's a giant wall.
It is wild to think that companies could be pushing towards just streaming stuff when we're seeing streaming in Hollywood currently come under fire pretty heavily. And not only that, we're also seeing physical media dropping in countries like Australia. We're seeing our internet speeds are
Abysmal.
on average lower than every other major developed country as well. It's a really interesting time. It's weird to then also see where consoles have been going lately. That sort of mid-generation refresh that we've been leaning towards.
Really, that mid-generation refresh. So I understand the point behind it is to make it smaller, make it more viable, increase, with the new technology, they've got 2 or 3 years into a generation. But it is a business move as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we
of course, because
saw
it gets people to buy them again.
exactly.
It's the Apple iPhone effect.
Exactly.
I find it very interesting, this discussion of, iPhone, Apple in general, are making a bit more of a push for their gaming because the chips that they're putting out are wildly good. And it's really impressive what they're working towards and creating nowadays with their M2, M3, their Ultra chips. Like, their iPhone chips being powerful enough to run this stuff is crazy. And as we saw at the event earlier in the year, when they brought out Kojima to be like, hey, please port your games. Using Apple's Metal, they're pushing for people, like developers, to use Metal and their new, like, enhanced, like, translation system, basically, to port your games over to Apple and Mac and now iPhone. It's really interesting because when you look at the gaming market, I'm willing to bet there's a lot more iPhones on the planet than there are gaming consoles.
Yep. 100%.
So it's an interesting time.
Yes?
I just wanted to point out Townsy's, but I thought Braden was finished. I'm sorry, mate.
Oh, no, go for it.
Townsy's comment in the chat is everything will go digital for a decade. Now, this is Townsy's prediction, which we all know always comes true.
Absolutely. Michael Towns. Some call him the Nostradamus of video games.
Everything will go digital for a decade or so. And then Sega will burst out the Dreamcast 2 with discs and win.
Well, that's
How
because
happy would Anto be right there?
Oh, my God.
this time they'll remember to go, oh, yeah, right, copyright. Let's not make it so.
Yeah, let's not do that thing where everyone can just burn games again.
Rip that ISO.
I
straight
feel like
into
that
it.
was a mistake.
Speaking of which, can I just bring this up? What I've got in front of me here. It's called the Game Doctor. Braden, do you know what a Game Doctor is?
Is that who you go to see when you've broken something after a bad game sesh?
That's when you've put a faulty disc in your slot. Yeah? What?
Nothing.
It's true.
Yep.
Hang on, I'm just going to unwrap this.
Floppy's visited the Game Doctor a couple times.
Mate, if you don't get a little bit of an antivirus every now and again, like...
Now that's what I call McAfee.
just don't go Norton. It doesn't do nothing. You'll end up with the same problem in 2 weeks.
So this is the Game Doctor.
What is that?
It's Game Doctor.
Oh, okay.
So what this is, back in the 90s, kids, back in the good old 1990s, we didn't have fancy high-speed internet or powerful computers in order to burn stuff illegally. Oh, sorry, no, back up our games legally that we bought with 100% money and virtue.
Oh, I just burnt shit.
Anyway, in order to burn shit, so if this is for the Super Nintendo, you would plug this into the Super Nintendo. You would get the game that you wish to back up and plug that into one of the slots, and then you would get a 3.5 floppy disk, or as you young kids may know it as, the save icon.
And can I just tell you, floppy disk, way more than 3.5 inches.
Yeah, okay. So then we put the pathetic and minuscule 3.5 floppy disk into the Doctor, which is weird because that'll never happen. And you would burn the ISO file onto this floppy disk, and then you could take that floppy disk out with basically the game on it, put it in your computer, and upload it to a site for prosperity and not for other people to download.
When did this come out?
In the 90s. Obviously, they weren't endorsed by Nintendo. But these things now go for about $140 to $190.
So I assume at that point in time, Nintendo weren't real hot onto the shutting everything down in 14 milliseconds like they are now.
Well, I mean...
Or they couldn't, maybe. I don't know.
So Nintendo didn't really get on that bandwagon until recently. And then when they sued that guy called Bowser, he had to pay like millions upon millions of dollars and had to go to jail. That's setting a precedent. But anyway, that's a little piece of cool history. Braden, you look disgusted.
Don't search Game Doctor on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a post show if ever I've heard one.
Because there's clearly some really messed up people who, like, got on that trend of, like, Dr. Pimple Popper shit. Like, hey, do you want to play a phone game? Which is just... horrible.
Is it gone?
People, get some help. My God.
What is wrong with you?
But we've been Hack the Dino. This has been our gaming cast where we talk about the past, present, and future. I'm sorry. We're watching something that we shouldn't be watching. Video games, news, previews, and discussions. But this isn't all we do. Floppy.
Yes, mate.
What do you do?
Well, I get on the back of really long horses and cover my bits and pieces with a hat and a fan.
That's a weird thing. Why would you say that?
Because it's just what happens.
Cool.
I also throw some photos up on Instagram at Floppy Plays Games. Haven't done anything for a little while. Sorry about that. Been busy. But you can go over there and have a look at stuff that I have bought and playing, am enjoying, or hope to win one day.
Have you played Trek to Yomi yet?
I played a little bit of Trek to Yomi. Then I got stuck on Double Dragon, which turned into Armored Core, Detective Pikachu, and now Need for Speed.
Right. So Ghost Runner's just sort of left out dry.
Correct.
Cool.
I have heard from the demo that people are really enjoying Ghost Runner 2.
Which is what made me buy the first one, because it was cheap and there is very little of them around. So when I found it, I got it.
All right. Hey, just out of curiosity, with your rarities that you do have in your collection,
Yes.
because you do, you have. I'm trying to.
Sorry.
It's all those horse videos. You do have a habit or a ability to find. I'm just laughing at your comment. Stuck in my head. You have an ability to find rare PlayStation games.
Yeah, it comes
or
up.
low run games.
Yeah.
How much would you estimate your collection's worth?
I don't like to say that live on TV.
And where do you live? And what times is it?
Look, to be honest, I don't know.
All right.
I know I pick things up. I don't always look at what they're valued.
Cool.
I have things because I like them.
It's a good thing to be. Braden,
Hi.
what do you do with your bad self?
Whoa. I do.
Doo-doo.
Hey, you said it earlier this episode, and I was gonna call it out, and I didn't. So
I said it.
That's
Both-
just
no,
you
both of
missing
you
a
said
good
it.
I said
opportunity.
doo-doo.
No, Floppy said doo-doo. Doo-doo. I also do a movie TV show podcast. I watched all of One Piece.
Oh, I'm halfway through that.
It's surprisingly really good.
Surprisingly, this is the one thing that got me into One Piece.
Yeah.
I've tried the manga. I've tried the anime. Couldn't get through the first book or the first episode. This one, made it through the first one. Made it through the second one. By the third one, I was going, hey, this is pretty good.
Yep. It's weird that it is surprisingly good.
And it's been picked up for a second season as well.
It has, and I'm really looking forward to it, which is really cool. I still haven't watched TMNT Mutant Mayhem. I really should. But we did just do a massive episode a lot about Star Trek, specifically the newer one, though, which is fun. But yeah, that's a movie podcast. It's a bit of fun. And otherwise, come to Greenlight Comics. Floppy just did.
That's right. What'd you get, Floppy?
Oh,
got
I'll
in.
show you what
Take
I
the
got.
goddamn lollipop out of
It's
your
the
mouth
invisible
like you
bag.
have been for the past 10 minutes.
Sorry, sucking on Barbie.
Oh, jeez.
It's a Barbie lollipop. I got this invisible bag.
I prefer Ken.
Something to do with that seat where just the people who want to be cancelled
Yeah.
sit.
There it is.
Look at that. I got Batman 89 and Superman 78 box set collector's edition.
Yeah.
Nice.
Collector's edition? I don't know what they called it, actually.
And you know where you can get that? You can get it
Get
at
it.
greenlightcomics.com or Greenlight Comics in Adelaide, South Australia.
And while you're there, be sure to pick up a ticket to our live show at hackthedino.com, where you come see us for free. Come and have a good old time playing some video games. And if you also want a good old time, you can head on over to Mr.
Floppies.
Benjamin,
Oh, sorry.
where I put up all the stuff that I purchased with money. As we can see there, I got the Mario Brothers soundtrack from the original 1992 movie on cassette.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jazz got it for me. It was very nice of her.
It is very nice of her.
Yeah, what a champion. Yeah. Yes,
Is this in Spanish?
Italian. There's the European version because the PAL version costs like $200.
Gee, fair.
Yeah, but it's something I had as a kid, and I've been
That
searching
particular,
for it.
you had the
No,
Italian
I
one?
had
Okay.
the Australian one, but I'm not. I just appreciate
Ooh.
the thought. Those two I got at the weekend doing some retro hunting. Julian from Ghost Games bought a bundle of NES games, and they were in there. And he owed me $80, so I said, "All right, I'll take those two, thanks," because I'm nice like that. And then I found these. Do you remember these, Floppy? You probably wouldn't, Braden.
Yeah,
But
I
they were
do.
McDonald's Happy Meals.
Yeah, I do remember
They look
those.
fun though.
And I had the loose ones, and then I was out at Paddy's Market at the weekend. Found these still in their original bag from like the 90s.
That's wild.
Take a guess how much I paid.
10 cents.
Well,
Each.
you're not going to... Why?
$5.
What?
$5.
Yes, I paid $5 for all three.
For all I was going for each, but okay.
No, all three, $5. That was great.
Did you ever find it weird that Professor X made everyone sit in a chair like his?
No, because he was just a demanding, not a
He's
nice
like,
man.
if I can't use my legs, you won't be able to use yours.
Well, it depends what version of Professor X you're reading.
Now, Ben,
Yes.
I assume, knowing you want to collect all four.
Yes, I know. I'm missing the Wolverine.
I'm assuming Wolverine's the most expensive as well.
No, probably. I don't know. I've got them loose. Like, these were just
okay.
there. Like, they were in a junk box. And I said, how much? And he went, $5. And I went, yes.
I'm going to look them up right now.
You're going to look up
$5
what a
for
box,
all of them.
one in the bag is. Dun, 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 dun. Land Before Time, Hungry Jack's puppets. Do you remember them, Floppy?
Yes,
I've got them.
I have one.
Funnily enough, I've got the whole set. So like little,
You've got your favourite one bagged,
Yeah.
though, don't you?
so I've got Littlefoot, my original childhood one, my Littlefoot that I got originally when I was a kid, and I also, again at Paddy's Market, found one in its original bag for $5. So that's pretty cool.
I remember a time. Excuse me. I remember a time, probably late '90s, where everyone was using them as toe ball covers.
Yep.
Everyone had
Yeah.
you had like them stuck on the toe balls of your car.
I've still
horrible.
seen that.
Awful. What do you got for us, Braden?
Not as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah.
And you probably don't have to pay postage because they're in SA.
Oh,
So you could probably just hit them up and be like, hey, can I meet you at the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair? $11.95.
What?
hey, that's not bad at all.
It's not bad.
I might actually do
I'm
that.
literally surprised you're not doing it right now.
Yeah,
Finish the
that's-
set.
That's not too.
And
too shabby.
goodbye.
Shout out to Halleck Cove.
But I think that's what else do I have on that Instagram thing there, Braden? Anything
Let's
worth,
have a
worth of
looky
interest,
loo.
worth of note, worth of value, worth of... Oh yeah, I got the so when I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie, I was so in a childlike stupor because it was in the same cinema that I saw the 1992 Mario Brothers movie.
Oh,
I
that's cool.
instantly came home and purchased the limited run edition of the modern day Mario Brothers film, the soundtrack in CD and cassette, because I have a problem. Yeah. And I think that's but anyway, Mr. Benjamin on Instagram, you can check that out. I got that in a little Nintendo 64 keyring. That's pretty cool. You can see all these. I put them all up on Hack the Dino, which you can also find on Instagram. But what else you can find on Instagram is a little one that I, until recently, forgot that I did, called Bad Game Arts, where I look at the worst video game art of the late 90s and early 2000s. This one here, I don't know what it's called, Lack and Chase?
Seems like Lock and Chase.
Anyway,
Fucking chase.
it's basically the ghost from Pac-Man running away from 4 Pac-Mans.
What is there an eyeball on this in the smoke? What is that?
No, what do you mean?
On the
I
right-hand
think-
side,
I think
above
it's
his
one of
hat.
the power pellets that you have to get.
Ah,
It's basically Pac-Man, but you're playing a ghost instead of
So it's
Pac-Man.
reverse Pac-Man.
It's reverse Pac-Man.
Yeah, don't like it.
No.
Nah, not a fan.
Next up, we have this little ditty
Ugh!
called Buster Move 2.
Why is he getting the
Clockwork Orange
Clockwork
treatment?
Orange treatment? Yeah.
I don't know. I think because the game's so amazing, you won't want to sleep and put... anyway, it's a weird choice for a cover to advertise a game.
Yeah, I don't like that. Oh,
This was, you know how I said we got a big tub of games and Xboxes for like $50?
yes.
This was in it.
Crazy Golf?
Crazy Golf.
Is that the right flyer in the background?
I don't know what it is, but you got a cool looking shark. Look at his
Yo.
big
Oh,
old
there's a
green.
land shark.
No, he's in water.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't see any water.
Yeah, it's water.
Goofy's like nephew is fucked up.
That's
Because
Goofy after
Goofy's
playing
nephew is
too much-
also his dad,
Ooh, and has played way too much LSD Dream Simulator.
and not enough of Japan Open.
Coming at you.
Anyway, this is the balls that's coming at you.
Wow.
So Bad Game Arts, check that out on Instagram as well. Be sure to also check out hackthedino.com. Leave us a review. Follow us on YouTube and TikTok and all those things. If you want to be a Patreon and help keep the mics on, you can head over to patreon.com and we'll be revamping the rewards there very soon, I hope, I guess. Actually doing a post show now with the producers where literally we've got a big old producer chat. I turn on my phone and I basically, while I'm setting up for the show, just chat to all the Patreon level.
Chatty.
One would even call it a pre-show.
A pre-show.
Yeah, I don't know if we should call it a post show anymore.
What did I call it?
Post
Called
show.
a post show.
Well, that's good.
It's the post. It's the pre-post show.
It's the pre-show where people who are very important to us because they give us money are allowed to have a chat. And I was on the phone with them for about 20 minutes before the show. So it was a good time. But until next time, remember that horses are your friend. Mr. Hands... Yep. Floppy?
No, I can't watch that thing again. No, you made me do it. And
Look, you just have to have an open mind.
he had more of an open.
That wasn't his mind.
I
Floppy.
know.
That was really not his mind.
So big.